Hi there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 34 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Today we are in this whole month focusing on confidence, the area and aspect of our life that is our confidence. Confidence is our beliefs about ourselves. That's my simplest way to define confidence. The more we believe in ourselves, the better the results we get in our life. The more we believe in ourselves, the easier it is to create the things that we want to have in our life and minimize or just not even let in the things that we don't want in our life. So today's topic is to build a confidence resume. What on earth is that? I'm not looking for a job. I just want to be me. Well, our confidence resume is simply a list of or a collection of things that we've done in the past. It's actually our proof to ourselves that we're awesome, right? Because we all are. If you're human, you're alive, and you exist at all, you're automatically an awesome human being. So you're also probably like most human beings where the majority of our self-talk and the majority of the information that we get from the outside world is negative, or we can take it with a negative connotation. We can make it negative even if somebody gives us a compliment. Sometimes some of us have the ability to twist that and turn it all around and make it a jab or something negative about ourselves. So we're going to try to nip some of that in the bud. We also want to collect proof for ourselves so that when we hit snags, when we hit obstacles, when we hit challenges or roadblocks, we've got something to physically refer to that reminds us that we are awesome and that we've won before and that we've had successes before. And then finally, when imposter syndrome comes in, we can use our proof to say, hey, no, I have done this before. I talked yesterday about how I used I had to have confidence to switch from one industry to the next. When I lost my job, I lost my first job, I had to say, okay, well, that wasn't awesome, but that's because I wasn't a fit for that organization. How do I find an organization that I'm a better fit for? What I realized is I wanted to be in a totally different industry. Same function, but a different industry. And I needed to build my confidence up. So I went back and I looked at everything I'd done up to that point in my life, and I listed all the things, and I created evidence that the skills that I had were transferable from one type of industry to another. Leadership, team building, problem solving, decision making, the ability to communicate, all of those things are absolutely positively transferable skills. And when I reminded myself of that, it made it easy. Well, not super easy. It's always nerve-wracking to do job interviews, but it made it easier, and it made it even possible for me to do that. And I ended up landing a much better job, making just in a signing bonus alone almost double my start. It was a lot more money than I was making in my old job, just the signing bonus alone. So that just goes to show, and it showed me and taught me at a pretty young age that switching industries was one of the fastest ways to supersize my salary and supersize the compensation I was getting for the work that I was doing. So how do we go about doing this? I say we start by making a collection. And I've done this for so long, I can't even remember when I started it. I think I started it about my second job in corporate America. I was working in a very toxic environment. And so I started what I call an awesomeness file, because some days I'd have to just go in my office and go, not really scream, but scream as if I was screaming, because some of the crazy stuff that happened at that particular organization I worked for. That happens in our personal life too. I was married to somebody who wasn't very kind or a very good person. Didn't know that, we all have lapses in judgment, but having belief in ourselves will always carry us through any challenge that we're faced with. So what are we going to do today? How are we going to build this? First and foremost, sit down and list off 20 things that you have done in the past, or that you successfully did, or accomplishments that you've had. Could be anything, big, small, whatever. Write those things down. And it doesn't matter if it's tiny things. What we're doing is we're training our brain to look for more of us winning. Then, so for example, you could look at, let me get a list here. I put a list in my handy dandy. I keep a journal for the annual challenges as well. Things like, 20 things you've accomplished in your life. Big ones, little ones, ones that hide on rocks. include challenges that you've overcome, skills that you've learned, relationships that you've built, goals that you've achieved, kindness acts. Acts of kindness to me are some of the most powerful way to show ourselves that we are a good human being. And that's really what we all want, right? We want to just make a positive impact on the world and on our life. And that helps us to create the life that we love and want. Any brave moments, any times that you've had to step out of your comfort zone or rise to the occasion, those are all wins. And then once you get that list of 20, commit to yourself that you're going to add to it weekly. You're going to pay attention during the week to your wins, and you're just going to write them down. And pretty soon, you're going to be like me. You're going to have a whole book or a whole binder full of proof that increases your confidence. And I will say, I haven't had to go to mine often, but when I have needed it, it's been a lifesaver. So then after you do this, and you can do it physically, you can do it in a Google Doc, you can do it in a Notion. There's so many apps nowadays to do things. You can do photo evidence. I used to take photos of everything. I learned that in corporate America too. One of my jobs was to communicate information to people about things that needed to be fixed from a quality standpoint. And I could try to explain it to them, but a lot of the time it was just easier to take a picture of it and then give them the picture and say, okay, and then circle what was it, the thing that needed attention on the photo, so that it could be addressed quickly and easily. And I didn't have to try to put into words what and where this thing was that needed to be taken care of. I hope that makes sense. But we can do that with ourselves. One of the things I love about Facebook is that about Google Photos is it shows me my memories. It shows me past events from 10, 15, how many ever years ago. And it'll, Google Photos does this. I save photos in Google Photos because I think it's fun and it's easy, and they do some cool things with it. But they will show me memories which remind me of events that I've totally consciously forgotten about. They're all in my memory bank, my long-term subconscious mind, but I don't necessarily have access to them. Sometimes just going through the photos on your phone is a good way to do that. Going through your email and messages that you've gotten from people, or even your social media accounts, going through those and looking back at old comments can help be a resource to build your confidence. So after we do that, let's ask ourselves some questions about that, about the things that we've collected. What's something that you've accomplished in the past that you have totally negated, dismissed, or minimized, that you're like, you totally have forgotten about it? I have, I've been around a long time. So there are way more things I've forgotten about than I would ever remember. But when I need them, I can recall them. I kind of want to reorganize and put a whole room in my brain where I could store all that stuff so that when I need it, I can just access it. When I doubt myself, what evidence proves to me that I am capable, that I got this? Proof that I am more than good enough to figure it out. And then finally, what would somebody who believes in me and knows my track record, what would they say about me and my track record that might help to remind me that, yeah, I am an awesome human being? And then share one thing from the past, an accomplishment from the past, anything. It can be a big thing, a small thing, but something that you're proud of, right? Don't share some memory that's horrible. We're building ourselves up here. So comments below, share one thing that you're proud of. It can be a small thing or a big thing. I used to be proud of the fact that I'm really good at finding things, lost things, and not only my own lost things, but other people's lost things too. And I'm proud of that. It's not a huge accomplishment, but I'll tell you what, when you're late for an appointment or you're late for work and you can't find your keys, it's a very good skill to have. All right, any questions about this? You know what to do. Just ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day. Let's build those confidence muscles so we can start this year off and finish strong and finish this year at a point at which we couldn't have even imagined in January. All right, have a great day, and I'll, of course, be with you tomorrow.